This is live radio right here. That's it.
Right
As
here.
as we get this shit worked out, you guys are all privy to see it.
We are building plane as we fly it.
If you're worried about a mistake, don't worry about perfection, worry about progress, because that's exactly what you just saw.
The Morning Loop, the unpredictable first 15 minutes of the show where you don't know what the hell's going to happen. This is about respect, mutual respect, meeting expectations and loving others. If you appreciate your wife, your partner, your lover, your significant other, show them that. Whether it's your husband or your partner, show it to them.
Gratitude all around us is a powerful thing. Even if we're not practicing it ourselves, someone can see that video and experience how powerful it is.
I think the dating culture is just, it's a mess now, and I feel like both sides don't appreciate each other and don't really, I guess, have the right expectations or realistic expectations for one another.
At what point do we ask ourselves, nation, what's the cost of living up to those expectations? To your wife's expectations, your partners, your colleagues? How much of ourselves are we going to give away? Today,
No, we got to pour into our own cups first, because then when our personal cup is full, we're better to our kids, we're better to our wives.
you can't live your life trying to meet everyone else's expectations. No, you end up drained. You lose focus on what actually matters to you. You forget your own goals. Sometimes being selfish is exactly what you need. If you don't try, you don't know. And sometimes you got to try. You got to move the needle.
When we do something for the first time, we're all going to suck. And then the second time, you'll suck a little bit less. Third time, you'll suck a little bit less. And when you understand this, it's not so daunting to try something for the first time.
You really need to have a not give a fuck mindset in order for you to be happy on this planet.
Most people spend their lives living on this path of trying not to, put it bluntly, people are so afraid of what other people are going to say or think about them. That is a huge controller of their path of life. And that's a guaranteed way for you to make sure that you are unhappy and unfulfilled. This is who I am. And if you like me, there's a seat here right next to me and we can rock. And if you don't, that's fine. Dislike me over there.
You can acknowledge that things are happening, right? You can acknowledge that there are systems set up against you. You can acknowledge that people are fucking haters. You can acknowledge all of that while still knowing like that does not stop me from doing what I need to do, nor will it get in my way.
I got one seat and it's for my ass, not for yours. I'm on a mission and there's no room next to me. Are all expectations that we have amongst ourselves or others have on us, are they bad? Expectations that family have on us, mentors have on us, do those expectations push us to be better?
What I didn't realize was that me doing my own thing was a massive part of me learning to be unapologetically me.
When I came out, I shattered her own expectations of her life, and she didn't know what the story was anymore.
You have to be feet firmly planted on the ground enough to know this is important enough to me that I need to share it with the people who love me. And if they love me in the ways that I think they do, they're going to rock with me. And if they don't, that might be a necessary loss. The whole concept of necessary loss is one that people don't want to accept, but it's something that we will have to experience throughout our lives, regardless of who you are.
When you say no to one thing, you're actually saying yes to something else. When you make a habit of saying no to the things that don't serve you and the ones you love in your life, you are actually creating opportunities for yourself to say yes to the things you need to do that will serve you and the ones you love. Next time someone asks you to do something that doesn't serve you or the ones you love the way it should, reach down deep, take a deep breath, have some guts, and say no, because you are actually saying yes to something that will serve you.
What's the type of person that I want to be? What's the type of dad that I want to be? And then you identify what those things are that you think that dad would do or what that person would do. I have undeniable proof that I'm the person that I want to be. I've identified what that looks like, and I've been doing those things every single day.
Actually, mindset does change reality. You can't say, okay, Jesus Christ, I've let myself go. I'm fat. I'm pathetic. I'm broke. I can't pay my bills. I'm ready to change my mindset. Everything come back to me real quick. It doesn't work that way. You've got to basically own this stuff from the jump. If you are living in a way where you're leading by example, you're leading yourself first, and you're leading yourself in a way where you are being successful, and success is not just money, it's all of the things that are important to you.
Everything that you want is lying right on the other side of the work that you're avoiding doing.
You are more than the labels that you've been given. Have you ever been slapped with a label that feels like a life sentence?
If you focus on
Thank
pleasing your
you.
partner, this whole 5-minute thing is fucking gone. When you have expectations of things you can't control, you put yourself at massive risk of having a bad experience.
Even if you fail, you got to still look at it as a win for the day.
You make the habit of showing up. That's the biggest chunk of the battle right there. The suffering by comparison is because people have expectations that they're going to have success with what they see in someone else, and that's not a fair situation, especially with social media.
When it comes to your expectations, you got to be real with yourself and look in the mirror. So before you got these wild expectations, really evaluate what you're doing.
I had my first expectation when I was a fat little son of a bitch was just to get to the gym. And I got there. And then next thing you know, my next expectation was to train a little longer. And then it was to train a little bit harder. Then it was to eat a little better. And I just kept kept bumping my bar. Expectations really can be helpful if you use them in a way that serves you.
I go to bed better than I ever have. I wake up every single better than I have because I know I got Marty, I got Christina, I got Johnny, and we just do this together. And when somebody stumbles, somebody picks their person up.
There's no perfect time. The perfect time is right now, and the perfect place is right fucking here. So get at it.
The reality of a situation does not meet your expectations of that situation. That's when stress occurs. And to me, that was always a really qualitative or quantitative way to look at stress. It's difficult to realize that everything is not an overnight success. Where you start is not necessarily where you're going to finish. If a guru is out there claiming, I'm going to get you to a 10K month, your first 10K month within 90 days, it's bullshit. And if it's not bullshit, then they're doing it in a way that is going to fabricate the results and or gamify things that may not be values aligned to you. 50% of entrepreneurs say that managing their own expectations is one of their biggest challenges.
Sometimes we got to pull things off the list to meet the expectation. We think we often have to do more to meet an expectation, when in my experience, it's often we have to do less.
Opportunity is sexy, opportunity is exciting, but addition by subtraction. So what are you going to take away, and what are the boundaries and the confines within which you're going to operate so that you can manage your time? What are the could do on my list, and what are the should do's or the must do's on my list? And let's look at the day from that perspective. Some of my greatest disappointments in business are that I had high expectations for other people, or I expected people to act the way that I act, to conduct themselves the way that I conduct myself, or to hold the same values that I have.
If I'm Wayne Gretzky getting on the ice, I'm expecting and hoping you're getting on the ice with me and say, okay, I'm going to elevate my game because I'm playing with the best player in the world right now. If you're not putting that time in to achieve that mutual goal, I don't want you on my team.
I need to protect myself and manage my own expectations and put myself out there in a way that says, this is what my expectations are. Trusting somebody is a risk. So you have to be willing that if all goes to shit, what are you going to be left with?
If you're clear from the beginning what your expectations are, then they sign on the dotted line, then it's easier from then on.
You need to be willing and open and vulnerable to have the conversation with whomever you're doing that business deal with, to say, these are my expectations of this situation.
Inspect what you expect.